Greg Launer here, ESPN Chattanooga. We're hanging out at McKenzie Arena. Now we got Coach Poppie in the mix here. Coach, when you look back and get a chance to sort of reflect back on your first year at the helm here at UTC, what do you think about?
Well, it was a lot of fun when it was all said and done. Maybe not in the moment, a lot of hard work, but some really neat experiences. To think where we started compared to where we ended, and to finish it with a championship. But it's been fun. Winning was fun, but the people made it even more fun. The support here has been undeniable, and that part's what you kind of pour yourself into for heading into year two.
Yeah, no doubt. And speaking of year two, what's been the biggest difference between off-season year one, kind of just thrown into the fire, you're here, you're trying to recruit, you're trying to get your feet wet and trying to get used to being a head coach, now off-season year two, what's been the biggest difference between those two?
Expectations. I think
that's not a bad thing to have.
No, and we have it internally regardless, of where we stand. But when you inherit a team and program that had won 7 the year before, I think there's a lot of outsiders, expecting but thinking it's going to take a while. We probably skipped some steps. We kind of openly admit that, but we didn't do it in the wrong way. We did it in a way of culture and the people, and so I think for us was as you head into year two, knowing that the outside expectations are there, although we've always had them internally, but also to keep that pressure off of ourselves, knowing that you're the defending conference tournament champion. We know what comes with that, but don't put pressure on because that was last year. We got 7 new kids, so we'll take it year by year, and now we're just having to be year two.
Now, you mentioned that you got some new players in here and you're kind of trying to build here in year two. So talk to me a little bit about the makeup of this team.
It's an interesting one. I think we finally got some balance in our classes, with some mixtures of some seniors that run all the way through. Our sophomore class is thin, but it's one really good one in that sophomore class. But we do have 7 returners, that understand the culture, how we work, how we approach our daily, classroom, community, those kind of things. Now we're bringing in 7 new in to how do you put all the puzzle pieces together, right? While they work hard and get the team chemistry, putting 7 and 7, it's going to take a little time. We understand that, but we had 5 weeks in the summer where it kind of started, and we're now headed into what we call our preseason work, and super excited about the talent we have. I guess that's why they pay us to put them all together.
That's right. That's right. So what do you, I know you mentioned you're kind of excited about the opportunity to put all these girls together, but what are you most excited about heading into year two, kind of with the experience that you had in year one, taking it into year two?
Yeah, it's going to sound really, I don't know, wild or cliche maybe, but it's like not having to deal with all the stuff that comes with year one, right? Like, I know how to get to a restaurant downtown, right? I know how to, right. I have a home. You think I didn't move into my home until the week before Thanksgiving last year. So that chaos, we just had our 3rd child the day after the NCAA tournament. So I know how to get across campus. Like, those things are gone, and so I'm excited that we can get more into the work quicker. But I also am excited about the talent and the kind of kids we have. I think we have an exciting brand that we'll be able to share, play a little bit faster. We got some personalities with this group that I think can be attractive to the community, to our university, and going to play a fun style. And we hopefully continue to do what I think we can do and win games. All those things put together, I think we can create some momentum within the arena we're standing in right now.
Yeah, love this arena, by the way. It's amazing. Love McKenzie Arena. Now, tell us a little bit about this balancing act that you have to have as a coach. And as a baseball coach myself, I'm always sort of interested to ask another coach this in terms of the balancing act between being really tough on your players. Obviously, your girls are a little bit older and they're in college and they can handle a little bit more. The balancing act between being tough on them, yet trying to have some fun, play some games, keep things loose.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of a 2-part for me. First and foremost, we recruit people here on relationships. It's something that I am a firm believer that you have a true, genuine relationship, you can coach them harder, right? Because they know it's out of love. Conversations can follow, and maybe that's the new age, right? I think maybe when we were growing up, it was the more dictator style, military style, and you didn't have to have the relationships. So I think we're allowed on our side, I know with us and our staff and our culture, we can be hard on them because they know it's out of love. And it's nothing personal. It's just a basketball in the moment, on the court and off the court, same kind of deal. We're teaching them life. Yeah. With that said, though, this business in college athletics has turned to be 12 months out of a year on the women's basketball side. And so that can be a lot. I don't care if you're 18 or 23 and it's your last year going into it, it's a lot. So I think there's got to be a balance of having fun, right? This is a sport at the end of the day. And so if you don't like having fun, you're probably in the wrong place. But there's a time and place for both, right? So us to get out in the community, we're throwing the first pitch out. We're also going to audition for how to throw the first pitch out, right? If you would have joined us yesterday, we had a dance party before practice started, right? So
I don't want any part of that.
I stayed away. So it's part of who we are. We're going to have fun with it, but keep focused when the time's right, while you're making them tougher. So it creates an atmosphere that kids want to be a part of and I think can grow in.
That's awesome. Now, and again, they're a great follow on social media. They do a lot of great things, a lot of fun stuff and clips and cuts and things like that. So I love what you guys are doing on social media for the community as well. My last one for you, Coach, would be if you're talking to a group of young basketball players now as a D1 coach, and you could give them any piece of advice to kind of say, hey, you have the aspiration to want to play at this level, what would you say to them?
Well, like anything, right? We get a lot here about playing basketball, and that's important. It starts with school, though, right? Make sure you're taking care of that. I'm a believer, we're a believer, it goes hand in hand. Doesn't mean you have to be straight A's, no, but how much work are you putting into school? That usually tends to carry over onto this, right, onto this hardwood. That's the start. The second thing is will you be willing to outwork anybody else, right? It's easy to talk about, it's hard to do. With that comes a routine, you know, and putting the work in. We're looking behind us. We got a freshman that's lives in here, right? And she's one of many. So it's not just a calendar thing, right? When Coach says it's on the calendar from 2 to 4, you're not getting better 2 to 4. You're getting better what we see behind us. That's not scripted. That's just happening organically. And so it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. Are you willing to put it in? And you got to do both sides of it.
Shawn Poppie, head coach for the UTC Mocs women's basketball team. Coach, thanks so much for the time.
Absolutely. Appreciate you always having me. Good to see you.
You too as well. Greg Lawnert, ESPN, Chattanooga.